Okay, so iPullRank published the definitive AI search manual, 20 chapters, a bunch of different tools. This is an organic piece of digital marketing for everyone in the industry who's confused. Mike, can you kind of walk me through how you thought about organizing this, structuring this, and why it really matters going forward?
Yeah, I think that there's such a large big discussion in our space about one, how to do things, saying how it's just SEO and things like that. So I really wanted to have us walk through the evolution of these systems, how they work, how they differ from classic search, and how what you need to do differs from it as well. Of course, there is overlap with classic SEO as far as like the technical aspect. Like, yes, you still need to be crawlable, you still need to be indexable. Um, Generative AI platforms are not rendering, so you've got to make sure that your server side rendering, like all those sorts of things are still true. But how the content is understood, accessed, and synthesized is ultimately different. So I wanted to walk through that and also give an understanding of how content is understood and what you need to do in order to effectively make it through these synthesis pipelines and so on. And also, measurement is a big question mark for a lot of people as well. So I wanted to talk through that and where we believe all this stuff is going based on all the research that we've done. So there's been like a blog post here and there, whether it's from us or other folks in the industry, but I wanted us to like put together a really comprehensive piece so that there is clarity across our industry as to how things actually work. And what is why it's a double-edged sword basically is that ultimately people are going to copy this thing dramatically as well, like everything else in our space. But I think it's really important that the information is out there so that we can all continue to level up. In the meantime, we obviously have the first movers advantage on this as well. So it's obviously great for our own marketing. So it serves all those purposes. But I think the most important is that it contributes to the maturity of our industry around this subject matter.
It's such a valuable guide, and if I had one recommendation for folks, I'd love for you to speak to a little bit more is, starting for instance at chapter 8 and chapter 9, like 8 go into the query fan out, chapter 9 you and our content marketing manager Francine Monahan really dove into specific tactics. Like when people say, what do you do? This breaks down, it takes the jargon and really explains it on a content level. Because, yes, we know historically there's good content linguistically. Writing editors have been doing this for ages. But how do you apply that in a way that machines can understand? And then our VP of Growth and Content, Fasha, really dove into chapters 10 and 11 of how that plays into relevance engineering and content resonance, the real frameworks of how you can think about this at an organizational level. And if people can't do it themselves, I mean, we are implementing it. We're doing it with clients right now. And then you dove into the measurement issue, which is both attribution and like simulating prompts. Like, how do you actually test this stuff out to know what's working? That's like really the meat of this guide, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I think there's just so much value in this guide because we spent a lot of time, explaining what it is that we do, right? And the things that we're seeing work. And so, to the idea of simulation, I think that is something that is very different from what we've classically done in SEO, in that it was always like, oh, you do a thing, you measure it, you see what happens, right? Whereas in these environments, because we're effectively able to use the same technology that Google is using, or any of these platforms are using, where we can build our own RAG pipelines and then see what happens when we put our content in after we make an adjustment. You get this feedback loop in real time. So your optimizations can be a reflection of what these platforms actually do. So like you can do a thing where you can pull the results, the same results that Google would use, or you can do a query fan out in a very similar way to what Google would do, and then pull those results and then send that into a RAG pipeline and then see which passages in your own content would be selected here. And so you would know, like, I've made this adjustment, and now I've seen that my scoring, my retrieval scoring has gone up. And so I get more options in this RAG pipeline. So historically, we haven't really been able to do that. Like, yeah, sure, you could, replicate what indexing looks like, in that you could build an inverted index of your content and then see, okay, would this be considered relevant? But then you have all the other signals, like the link signals and things like that, that get used, that you don't really, know how Google is actually looking at those. With the RAG stuff, it is mostly about the actual retrieval of the content, which we can see because they use Google, we can use Google. So I think that this is a very important step that we can leverage as marketers to figure out, like, okay, how do these things actually work? And then what do I do? And then what is the impact before I even push it live?
It's so important, especially understanding Google first, because being the first movers, everyone else is kind of playing off that too. We've seen a lot of conversations with OpenAI and ChatGPT, depending on Google's index, as we look, and this guide goes into those other models. Yes, they may not be having the same sort of market share as Google, but we still need to pay attention to ChatGPT and Perplexity, right? Like, how are you thinking about those in the context of this AI search manual?
Yeah, I mean, this is a moving target. We're going to see things continue to change. Like the growth of ChatGPT, you cannot ignore it, even though the fact is Google sends way more referral traffic than anyone, like any channel on the internet. So at the same time, there's a lot of, what was it, like 700 million users that use ChatGPT. Like, there's a lot of value there. And we're seeing even our leads starting to come from ChatGPT. So you can't ignore that as a channel. Nevertheless, I think one of the great points that we bring up and have always brought up is that go where your audience is, and having that understanding, and also understanding that those channels are different. They operate differently. People click through differently. All of that is contemplated here. And so we just want to make sure that people are thinking about this in the right way, rather than just being like, oh, it's just SEO, just do some links and some content and you're done.
Yeah, and if all this is changing, to kind of tie it all together, this is $100 billion organic channel that you need to pay attention to. And if you're not adjusting right now, like you've talked about in the past, that SEOs are criminally underpaid for the amount of revenue that they drive. If you want to get into that C-suite conversation and really drive revenue for your business, why wouldn't you be learning this stuff at this moment in time?
Yeah, it's weird to me. Like, people keep wanting to fight me on this idea. Like, I want all of us to make more money. Why is anyone being like they're saying things like, oh, this is snake oil, all this other bullshit? Like, I'm trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Like, I have always made good money doing this work. Like, I'm trying to help our whole community level up. So listen, get behind me or get behind me. That's it.
and or you can walk with us and actually read this manual. Like, go do it, and then if you have any questions, hit us up. It is a wealth of information, and it's organic, it's dynamic, it's growing, like all these search, conversational search platforms. Like, we are updating it. So check it out, let us know. iPullRank, and we're excited to share with you and build this community and just make more money.
Oh, just because I haven't said it yet, relevance engineering.